Cheating wife furious as my daughter exposed her affair. Story 1. I'm a 33-year-old fella, and my wife's the same age, and let me tell you, my world got flipped upside down about a month back when she came clean about a wild night in Europe that I still can't wrap my head around. We'd been together 11 years, hitched for 2, and I thought we were solid, even with her wrestling some dark clouds in her head for the past 5 years, feeling lost about her job and life and all that, and I tried to be her anchor, but man, it wore me out after a while. Lately she'd been leaning hard on the bottle to deal with her troubles, and our marriage felt like it was stuck in mud. So we went to this counselor who said we should chase our big dreams together to light a spark again, and she'd always wanted to live overseas, so I said heck with it, took a year off work, and followed her on this working holiday abroad, figuring I owed her since she'd uprooted herself for my career back home plenty of times. Money-wise, it wasn't the smartest move, but I wanted to back her up anyway. 4 months in, her sadness just got heavier, and one night we went out to eat, met these American travelers, 3 dudes and a chick, and we hit it off, pounding drinks like there was no tomorrow, laughing our heads off, and they even covered some rounds, real friendly folks. Later they asked us to keep the good times rolling at their rental place, and I was game, snacking on chips and playing some board game that turned into truth or dare, and I stepped out to hit the John, came back, and there's my wife, lip locked with one of those guys. I wanted to pound his face in, but everyone's yelling it's just the game, chill out, and she's saying the same, but I wasn't laughing, seeing the woman I love smooching some stranger we just met. I told her we're out of there, and we grabbed a ride home, sitting in dead silence. She said sorry, blamed the booze and the silly game, and I just passed out when we got back, but at 4 in the morning, I woke up, she's not next to me, and I figured she's in the bathroom or something, but nope, not there, not in the kitchen either. My phone's gone too, and now I'm wide awake, heart pounding, thinking something's wrong. I checked everywhere, even the backyard, starting to freak out, wondering if she's messing with my phone somewhere, but she's nowhere in the house. I couldn't call her, no phone, and I'm pacing, looking outside, almost ready to wake the neighbors at dawn when she rolls up in a car at 6. I ran out, asking where the heck she'd been, worried sick after hours of waiting, and she says she left her phone at their place, used mine to get a ride back there, didn't want to wake me since I was out cold. She said it took so long because she crashed there, but I called bull, and then she said one guy hit her phone and made her stay. But when I said I'd go confront him, she flipped it again, admitting she stayed by choice. I told her to quit lying, or I'd get the truth myself, and the next day she fessed up she'd kissed him more that night and maybe he groped her, but her memory's fuzzy. I knew she was hiding the full scoop, dribbling out half-truths, so I decided to find out everything. Even if I had to storm back to that rental, she begged me not to, but I jumped in a car, grabbed a stick off the ground for protection, and banged on their door. One guy answered, tried to shut me out, but I shoved in, waving that stick, demanding answers. I had a hunch she'd done more than kiss, and he spilled it. She didn't just sleep with the guy she kissed, she'd been with 2 of them, together. He swore it was all her idea, even showed me pics of her grinning like she was having the time of her life. I went home raging, laid it all out, and she finally admitted she used losing her phone as an excuse to go back, kept the party going, hooked up with both guys in their bedroom while the other 2 stayed out of it. She said sorry again, pinned it on the liquor, but I told her that excuse don't fly twice. I was stuck, miles from home, jobless for her dream, feeling like a fool. We'd always been tight, propping each other up through rough patches, but she said this wasn't about me or wanting out, just her depression making her chase some reckless freedom like she was young again. She's torn up, swearing she'll fix us, and part of me gets it, believes she loves me, but how do you square that with her tossing our life away like it's nothing? She begged me to stay, but I couldn't. Hopped a plane back to the States, no job, no place of my own, sleeping on an air mattress at my mom's, feeling like dirt after giving up so much for her. Worst part is, I can't even tell my family the real story, but spilling it to strangers online feels easier. We talked on the phone, and I said I'm filing for divorce and telling folks, but she pleaded not to, knowing my kin would cut her out for good. I ain't sure what I want, just need someone to hear me, cause I can't tell most people yet. I'm starting therapy soon, ready to ditch the L. Aoife I thought we had, grieving not just what was, but what I dreamed we'd have. She flew back, promising to work on herself, her drinking, owning her mess, and we got a house together, no kids yet, but we'd planned a family down the road after building our careers. What kills me is she chose to go back after that first kiss and made it worse with 2 guys, a conscious choice, drunk or not, and no shrink can erase that. I'm getting tested for diseases today, haven't touched her since, and I wonder if she's done this before, but why bother asking when we're done? I can't trust her, can't unsee those pics, and I need time alone to figure out who I am without her. She wants to meet, but I'm set on ending it, and I'm stuck lying to folks about why we're splitting, hating the shame it'd bring us both if I told the truth. I've opened up to a buddy and my therapist, but every day's a fight, sleep's gone, and crashing at mom's feels like I'm a kid again, lost. Story 2. I'm 42, my wife's 43, and we've been married since we were 19, closing in on 25 years next summer. With 3 girls, our oldest is 19, off at college, and our twin 15-year-old still home, and life's been pretty steady. She's got her job, her yoga, and pottery stuff. I've got my own hobbies, but something's fell off lately. Maybe 6 months or so, she's been kinda distant, even when we're close. Like Saturday mornings in bed feel routine, her head somewhere else. I've asked if she's okay, but she brushes it off with an I'm fine, and I didn't peg it for cheating right away, just noticed her stepping out alone more, not her usual chipper self. Then a few weeks back, she flipped, sticking around the house all the time, hanging out in my office, but she's down, real sad, like she needs to be near me but can't shake whatever's eating her. The twins started acting weird too, all sweet, helping with trash and stuff they'd never touch, like they're in on some secret I'm missing. Maybe thinking I'm sick or dying or something. It kicked off around the same time my wife changed, and a couple months ago, I peeked at our phone bill, saw a pile of texts to some number I didn't know. She said it was a gal pal, but her phone had no trace of it, claimed she deleted him to free up space, though nothing else was cleared. Last 6 months been strange, last 3 weeks downright nuts, so I rang my oldest yesterday, laid out everything, and she said she'd talked to the twins, who look up to her and jump when she's mad. She called back today, said she got through to M, and she's coming home Friday to sit me down. I begged her to spill it now, said my heart can't take the waiting, and she warned it's rough but could have been worse, told me to hang tight, even hinted at some good news the twins swore her to keep quiet about. She made me promise not to tell my wife or the girls she's coming. Real serious about it. Yesterday I didn't know much more, just sweating it out till Friday. Reading horror stories online that got me thinking my wife messed around and the twins know. My oldest was cagey on the phone, wants to hash it out face to face, and it turns out she was right. My wife didn't step out with some coworker or yoga buddy, but with a guy we called a friend, married to a couple we hung out with. He's dead to me now, and his wife's gonna hear it all. The twins caught M when she was supposed to be at yoga, flipped out, and she swore it wasn't about leaving me, just a dumb thrill, sneaking around like kids. She didn't see how bad it'd hit, and what she did to the girls is near unforgivable. She cut it off right after they busted her, planned to bury it forever, told M she'd carry the shame so I wouldn't break, but they went along till my oldest lost it on all 3. I packed a bag, left her sobbing on the floor, turned off my phone's tracker, and drove an hour to a state park cabin. I ain't talking to nobody but my oldest, who swung by today, said it ain't shocking mom pulled this, always chasing the next big thing, yoga, oils, whatever's hot. Now she's just another midlife cliche. The twins are mad at her, scared I'm gone for good, and I don't know if I'll go back. My oldest vowed to raise hell when her semester's done, but after she left, I'm here alone, a middle-aged dude in a cabin, life all mapped out till it blew up. I told my wife to clear out, give me space, but she dug in, saying she won't ditch our life over her screw-up, swearing she'll fight for us, sorry as can be, begging me to come home and fix it together. That's her, stubborn as a mule, but I need breathing room, loving the cabin's trails, knowing it's short-term. She won't budge, and if I go back, she'll smother me with love till I cave, like she always does with her self-help books and pep talks. I paid cash for a week here so she can't track my cards, and sure enough, she's already snooping my accounts. I told the twins it ain't their fault, I love M, and they said she's been a wreck, flipping from tears to fix-it mode, scouring the web for marriage-saving tips. Works remote now, thank God, 100 miles from home, and I let her call me quick each night to say I'm alive, but I stick to texting the girls. I could forgive her, deep down, but staying feels like handing over my pride, and that's a big deal to me. I can't square being the man I am with sleeping next to her after this. If I stay, I lose my spine. If I keep my dignity, I gotta walk. My buddy says I'll land on my feet. Good job, decent shape, plenty of gals my age, but I'd rather go solo, live for me, no strings. She swears I'm her only guy, but I said a good marriage don't end up like this. We talked, agreed to split, and I told the twins I'll always be their dad. I can't stay with someone who stabbed me in the back, 'cause my self-respect's worth more than that.